The day begins gently in Hobbiton. The first light of dawn stretches across the rolling hills, painting them gold at the edges, while the valleys still hold onto their soft blue shadows. Mist clings to the water, drifting like breath over the river's surface, until the rising sun slowly warms it away. Dewdrops rest like tiny jewels on every blade of grass, sparkling as the breeze stirs them. A blackbird calls from a fence post. Somewhere nearby, a rooster announces the hour. The air smells of damp earth, cool stone, and something faintly sweet, the blossoms opening one by one in cottage gardens. From the chimneys of round earthen homes, faint tendrils of smoke begin to rise, carrying with them the promise of hearths being stirred back to life. The scent of kindling drifts on the air, blending with the fresh sharpness of morning. Round doors, painted green and blue and red, catch the light where dew has settled, shining like polished jewels set into the hillside. You step outside into this waking world, your bare feet pressing into grass still wet and cool. The air feels cool against your skin, carrying the smell of damp earth from last night's rain and a hint of wood smoke from breakfast fires just starting in neighboring smiles. The land is quiet but not silent. It hums with life, the soft murmur of a stream, the rustle of leaves overhead, the flutter of wings as a sparrow darts from hedge to hedge. All around, Hobbiton exhales slowly, waking not with haste, but with ease. This is a land that does not rush. The morning unfolds like a long-held breath, steady, certain, content to simply be. And you are part of it, rooted in this gentle rhythm, a hobbit among hobbits, at home in a world built for comfort, peace, and plenty. Your hand might instinctively reach for a pocket, searching for that device you usually check first thing. But here there's nothing to pull your attention, except what is already around you. The land itself asks you to pause, to notice, to listen. The wind moves through the long grass on the hills, creating a soft, constant whisper that seems to come from everywhere at once. Down by the water, the river makes a low rushing sound that stays steady in the background, like nature's own heartbeat keeping time. You breathe deeply, and the morning air feels clean, sharp, alive. You don't need to think about what comes next. You only need to stand still for a moment, to belong to the world exactly as it is, before the day has gathered any momentum. The Shire is alive with quiet, layered sounds. This isn't the empty silence of an isolated place. It's something fuller, a tapestry woven from the voices of wind, water, and life moving gently forward. Across the way, two hobbits meet near the town square. Their voices carry just enough to hear the murmur of greeting, but not the words. Their conversation blends into the landscape rather than cutting through it. The distant rush of the river adds a steady, grounding note. The whisper of leaves overhead shifts with each change in the breeze. Even the creak of a wooden cartwheel on the road seems softened here, blending into the hum of morning rather than disturbing it. Every sound asks you to listen a little closer, to notice things you might usually miss. There are no notifications here, no alerts, just the gradual awakening of a community that moves with the sun rather than against it. The smells of soil and smoke mix with the cool morning air, creating a scent that feels both fresh and ancient. This is how the Shire greets you each morning, not with demands, but with invitations. Invitations to slow down, to notice, to simply be present in the moment. A smell drifts from the kitchen, pulling you back toward the house. Bacon sizzling, mushrooms browning, bread toasting in the hearth. As you step inside, the kitchen welcomes you like an embrace. The round windows spill golden morning light across walls of warm earth, their surfaces curved and inviting. Polished wooden beams stretch overhead, their knots and grooves smoothed by time. The floor beneath your feet is cool stone, worn by generations of use, with a scattering of woven rugs softening the steps. Every corner tells a story. On the shelves, clay jars hold herbs and teas, neatly labeled in a careful hand. Glass bottles filled with honey catch the morning light, glowing amber. Mismatched mugs, each with its own pattern or chip, hang from hooks above the sink, ready to be chosen. Baskets of potatoes and onions rest in the corner, the smell of earth still clinging to them. The hearth is the heart of the room. A small fire crackles steadily within, its warmth filling the space. Copper pans hang from their hooks, their surfaces glinting softly in the firelight. Above the mantel, a row of pipes sits neatly, each one carved smooth and darkened with use. The air carries a harmony of scents: wood smoke, fresh bread, frying bacon, and something faintly sweet, perhaps honey cakes waiting on the counter. You notice the small details: the sturdy wooden table, marked with scratches from countless meals, the embroidered curtains fluttering faintly in the breeze, the butter dish shaped like a plump hen. Breakfast here is more than a meal. It is a ceremony. Eggs are whisked until creamy, sausages turned until browned, porridge stirred patiently over the fire. Each sound, the clink of cutlery, the gentle simmer of pots, the low crackle of the hearth, forms part of the morning's gentle song. It is a song of comfort, belonging, and home. Breakfast finished, your hands sink into the soil of your garden, and the real work of the morning begins. This isn't the kind of chore you hurry through to get it over with. It's the thing that keeps you connected to everything around you. You kneel among the rows, the earth cool and loose beneath your fingertips. Pulling gently, you lift a carrot from the soil. Its orange skin is streaked with damp earth, and you brush it clean with your hands, the dirt crumbling back to the ground. A cluster of tomatoes, bright and red, dangle from their vines. You twist them free, their skins taut and warm from the first touch of sun. Peas cling to their tendrils, the pods cool and smooth in your palm as you pluck them one by one. This is not about speed. Hobbits don't use fancy tools meant to save time. The hand trowel is simple, worn smooth with use. It doesn't make the work faster, it makes it more deliberate. You notice which plants are thriving, which might need more sun or water. You move slowly, with care, giving each plant your attention as if it were a neighbor. This idea of good-tilled earth isn't just a saying. It's how hobbits learn the land, season by season. They understand the rhythm of growth, when to plant and when to wait. Even modern research notes that working with soil, doing the same motions again and again, can help quiet a noisy mind. Your breathing slows, your thoughts settle. There's no clock telling you to hurry. The pace comes from the sun climbing, from the gentle progress of the morning. You're not trying to finish, you're joining in. This is how a hobbit starts the day, not by conquering a to-do list, but by touching the world and letting the world touch back. That sense of steadiness, of small things growing in their own time, it stays with you, long after you've brushed the soil from your hands. Mid-morning brings the most beloved of hobbit traditions, second breakfast. The kitchen has been cleared and reset, and now the table groans happily beneath a new spread of food. A basket of scones, golden and crumbly, sits at the center, alongside seed cakes sprinkled with sugar. Small bowls hold ruby-red strawberry preserves, honey dripping thick and golden, and pats of butter so fresh they still smell faintly of cream. Plates of sliced apples and pears gleam in the sunlight, while wedges of sharp cheese rest on wooden boards beside thick slices of brown bread. Steam curls gently from cups of tea, each one rich with the scent of herbs or bergamot. A small pot of milk and a dish of sugar cubes sit close at hand, waiting to be added to taste. Someone sets out a plate of sweet buns, still warm, their tops sticky with glaze. You sit again at the table, feeling the warmth of company more than the pull of hunger. Second breakfast is not hurried. It is an excuse to pause once more, to gather, to savor. Neighbors pass dishes back and forth, spoons clink against jars of jam, and soft laughter floats like music above the table. Here the world outside is far away. There are no pressing tasks, no ticking clocks, only the simple joy of food shared, tea sipped slowly, and the comfort of knowing that in Hobbiton there is always time for one more bite, one more cup, one more moment together. Not far from the garden, the animals are beginning their day as well. A few chickens scratch in the dirt, their feathers ruffling as they cluck softly. You scatter a handful of feed and they rush forward, their small feet pattering across the ground. A cat winds itself around your ankles, its fur brushing against your leg. You stoop to scratch behind its ears and it purrs, a deep, steady sound that vibrates like a small engine of contentment. It blinks slowly at you, the way cats do when they are entirely at ease. Near the fence, a pony lifts its head, ears flicking forward as you approach. Its nose is soft, velvety, and warm beneath your palm as it breathes out a gentle snuffle. You stand there a moment, stroking its mane, feeling the quiet strength of a creature that asks for nothing more than kindness and attention. Each interaction is unhurried, simple, and complete. Just as with the garden, the bond with animals is not about what they can provide, but about the shared moment itself, a rhythm of companionship woven into the fabric of the morning. With the garden tended and the animals content, the morning slows once more. You settle yourself on a bench outside your round green door, pipe in hand. The stem is worn smooth from use, and as you pack it carefully with pipeweed, halfling's leaf, you feel the familiar ritual take shape. A spark, a breath, and then the ember glows. The first draw is gentle, the smoke curling warm in your mouth before drifting upward, where it catches the light. The air fills with the earthy, sweet scent of pipeweed. You lean back, watching the smoke twist and stretch into the breeze. Each puff feels like a marker of time, slow and steady, measured not in minutes, but in the rhythm of breath. Around you, Hobbiton continues to wake, but here you sit in stillness, content in your small corner of the world. The pipe is more than habit. It is reflection. It is a way of letting thoughts drift like the smoke itself, forming and fading without weight. You exhale, and with the smoke goes the last of any lingering restlessness. What remains is simple, grounded, whole. The transformation is quiet but real. You came here restless, maybe even a little frayed at the edges, and now you feel centered, grounded by the deliberate pace of a hobbit morning. This isn't about escaping your own world. It's about seeing a different kind of rhythm, a blueprint for living that values the soil under your fingers and the company at your table. It shows you what it means to begin the day, not with urgency, but with presence. The hills of Hobbiton roll outward, lush and green, holding the simple truth that life is sweetest when lived at its own steady pace. Maybe tonight you'll find sleep comes a little easier, your breathing a bit slower, the memory of this morning lingering in your mind like mist over the fields. This is Hobbiton, this is the Shire, and this is the gift of a morning lived in its gentle rhythm.